Good evening, everybody. I am so happy to be here to be back for another coffee series. We have a very special reason for being here. Um, James, say hi, James.
Hi, everyone.
James has written a book that's called Sunset in Rome, and I was honored to be able to read it. Let me just tell you. I kind of like I just got done reading it. It's a novel about a gay queer Amish man, right? And it's wildly fascinating to finally have a novel about a queer Amish person and about that experience. And my favorite line in the whole book is when the deacon professes his love. Just so you know, that's my favorite. And I was really engrossed in the part where like ministry and deacons were engaged in like homosexual acts. Like it was like, how is this even happening when they are the ones that are simultaneously requiring confessions from other people who are engaging in homosexual acts? It is a coming of age story, and I recommend it for adults for various reasons. But if you want to learn about a queer Amish experience, this is a really good novel. Thank you, James, for expending your energy to write it. It's a very short story. It's only 45 pages long. It's easy read. So with that being said, you got anything you want to say about your book?
Well, first of all, happy Banned Books Week. It's
Oh,
very
this is
appropriate. Yes.
so
That,
appropriate.
yes. Mercury is in retrograde, so there's a lot of shifting in the universe right now, and um, this is perfect timing.
Yeah.
A Sunset in Rome is not my first short story, but it's my first short story in a really long time. I don't normally write fiction. I write poetry, but I had this piece that I was going to read that would kind of give you some context about Sunset in Rome. So,
Okay.
um, LGBTQ Amish, ex Amish need to hear our own voices in literature, but we're from a closed religious community and culture that doesn't encourage or support artistic freedom and creative endeavors. This would be considered prideful, worldly, etc. And not many Amish leave to become a writer or an artist. But I attended public schools, and I had non-Amish teachers that encouraged my creative writing and love of books. In fact, in school, I won an award for a short story that I had written. So most young Amish people, if they had any interest in writing or art, would be discouraged from that. However, because I went to a public school and my father did not monitor my reading, that kind of made me an exception to the rule. One of the like I remember being a teenager and going to the library and trying to find like a gay Amish book, even though that wasn't necessarily what like I had in mind. But I was trying to find visibility, representation. And of course, in the '90s, there was no gay Amish book out there, but now there is. And I wanted to challenge the narrative and the church. Um, my story is about Jacob. He's the main character. He returns home to the Midwest, and in essence, he takes a stand against the church for their hypocrisy for staying in the closet. People don't think of the Amish as religious extremists, but they are. And as I noted on Plain Rainbows, Mary, they're basically disgruntled Catholics.
We're apostates. We're all apostates.
Which I actually, when Queen Elizabeth's funeral was on, I watched the sermon, and I was really struck by how removed the Amish are from the church that they broke away from.
Mhm.
Like, I was trying to imagine a pope or a Catholic bishop like listening to an Amish sermon, like an Amish preacher actually preaching. And it's
Oh, ich kann mal bisschen predigen.
it's basically spiritual abuse. I mean, you have men with a grade school education and basic knowledge of society and the world at large stumbling over mispronounced sentences and playing God, or the Pope, or the Borgias. Have you ever seen the Borgias, Mary? That was such a great show.
No.
But the difference is, in the Amish, the emphasis is on church rules and conforming, and you don't hear a lot about hope or love. There's just a lot of fundamentalist teachings, fire and brimstone, eternal damnation, blah, blah, blah. And today, we're now a multi-million-dollar tourist attraction and used as propaganda in conservative media, Christian nationalist memes, and Republican presidential candidates. Sunset in Rome will be banned by the Amish Church. Probably by
You're
probably by the Catholic Church as well. So finally, there's something that they can agree on. I have brought them together.
Now
At
they're
long last.
united.
Hashtag artists are here to disturb the peace.
We are. Now they're
So-
united, James. Sorry, I have to interject here just for a minute. They're united because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's where they are. Artists are here to disturb the peace. Let me echo that. And somebody actually commented that as well. Artists are here to disturb the peace.
That's right.
Artists unite.
Yes.
All right, continue.
Yeah, and to write a book about a gay Amish boy that becomes a sex worker is based on a true story, except for the Amish part. And actually, I'm referring to Denham Fouts, who a lot of writers have actually written about him, including Truman Capote, Paul Bowles, Christopher Isherwood. He was from Jacksonville, Florida, which I have been to several times, and I don't blame him for leaving. Sorry, Jacksonville.
I've been to Jacksonville, Florida.
It's the most nondescript city in the world. There's nothing really that unique about it. I don't mean to hate on Jacksonville. I had a really good time there. But yeah, so he was born there. He had an abusive father, and he was a very beautiful man. He was a very beautiful boy, and so he was having gay sex with men, and his father found out and beat him, and so he left and went to Europe and traveled the world because he was considered the world's most expensive prostitute. and he was lovers with royalty, with some celebrities, with various famous people, and they sort of paid his way through life. His life did not end all that well. He died young because of a drug addiction. He sort of he lived really hard, you know. He lived a full life in a short amount of time. And again, various writers have written about him, but this sort of just takes inspiration from his story. And you know, a gay Amish sex worker really is not that far fetched because, I mean, I remember like during my clubbing days in my 20s, like I remember the Go-Go Boys. Some of them were also sex workers, and you know they had been on their own since they were a teenager. They were ostracized from their family. They really didn't give a fuck. I mean, they were very street smart. They're incredibly cool. But I mean, the opportunity for sex work, if I had wanted to, if that's what I had wanted to do, I mean, it was there. I remember I took a meeting with a porn producer once. He bought me lunch, and I backed out of doing the movie. But you know, he bought me lunch, so hey.
You
Um,
you got lunch. At least you got fed, right? You got food.
yeah, right. That was in Tallahassee, Florida. I don't know, something about Florida. Uh,
You're
um,
learning.
yeah, but I mean, the premise of an Amish boy becoming a sex worker, I mean, I understand to some Amish people that would be very provocative, very controversial, but it's also somewhat realistic because I mean, when we leave the Amish, you know, anything can happen. I mean, it just depends on yeah, our own circumstances.
Well, that
But so the story sort of sort of sets it up so that he's returning home to his father, to the Amish farm, and it leads to this confrontation with his father. Um, and it also raises the issue of Amish men that stay Amish, but they're in the closet. They're actually gay. So, and then which leads to the question of, you know, authenticity. Do you leave the church to be true to yourself, or do you stay in the closet and just have sex on the down low, like some Amish bishops that I know?
uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Or some Amish men that I know that live double lives,
Mm-hmm.
and then they, like, what do you do? What do you do? How are you authentically living your life in an environment like that where there's no space for you to be queer or
Right.
gay?
Right. Yeah, we don't have that. I mean, we don't have any role models. We don't have any visibility. I mean, now we have the Plain Rainbows podcast, but that's contingent upon Amish having iPhones, and not all of them do. Mary and I
Mm.
have both been really lucky to connect with gay Amish people through the podcast, but there's plenty that we don't reach because they don't have the technology.
That is correct. So it just
Hmm.
depends on like what
But
community they're from.
hopefully they have a library card.
It would be great. Would be great. You know what we need? We
did
need
you
a huh?
did you have a library card growing up, Mary?
James, I have never pretended to have been a good Amish. I did not until I was technically considered over the age of 18 by the world. So once I was 18, I did end up somehow getting a library card. Somebody helped me get one. Best thing ever. And, really truthfully, like I want to touch upon something you said. You said, again, it's the bishops that or like even the Amish that we've connected with that happen to be queer or gay. Um, where are the role models for us? Because I don't have, like, even as somebody assigned female at birth, I don't have somebody that's a role model for me that comes from Amish heritage as like a Amish queer AFAB person. I don't have that.
Hmm.
And I just feel like I know that there's people out there. I know that they're out there that are people that are signed AFAB, and they are part of the queer community, and they come from Amish
Hmm.
heritage.
Hmm. Hmm. This is true.
But where
Yeah, I personally know of several gay Amish men that remain in the church,
Mhm.
remain married, all that. Yep.
Like I said, living a double life, like, that's what happens sometimes. It's really quite, um, disconcerting, but then, like, the other message that we have is that, like, you're worthy of living your life. Like, I would hope that someday, in my wildest dreams, okay, if for nothing else, like, let's go here now. Let's look at the cover of the book. So there's that, and then we have this. It says by James Schwartz. Yeah, it's a great one. And then here's my copy that I read. Y'all. I just love this. I love this. I think it's great. I really do. I
Yeah.
think that the more we talk about it, the more we raise awareness, the more we go to pride celebrations with signs, the more we circulate information, the more people are going to feel like there is hope. There is
Hmm.
hope.
Absolutely.
And the book is a big step in there being hope because library cards, there are many Amish people that have library cards, even if they're forbidden. There are some that it may not be forbidden, but having library cards, having access to books, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. If we have any viewers from Pennsylvania, please get my book into Lancaster Library. And don't stop there. Let's do Indiana and Iowa and Wisconsin and all the places.
Ohio,
Yes, yes, please.
Ohio, yeah,
Yeah, because Amish need to hear we need to hear our own stories being told, and whether it's through podcasts or whether it's through a fictional story, it's important that that gay Amish know that there are others out there like them. I
right.
mean, that cannot be understated.
Literally,
Yeah, yeah.
it is really, really important, and
I
ideally,
mean, in some cases, it's a matter of life and death because what happens if you come out and it doesn't go well, or you know like what like this book, it's not going to be reviewed in any Amish publication, and it will be suppressed by any Amish media, um, which there's a handful of Amish YouTubers, um, and they're all heterosexual fuddy-duddies that belong in the medieval times because that's where their mindset is. But love is stronger than hate, and I really do believe that at the end of the day, and I do believe change is coming to the Amish church. It's slow, but I think it is happening on various levels. You know, there's Amish people that work with gay people, like they have factory jobs or whatever, and they have gay coworkers, or they have non-Amish family that's gay, and it's not like they live in this complete bubble. And so they're aware that the ministers also deny same-sex couples the right to get married, which violates their human rights. But that's by far not the only right that the Amish violate. Just list them.
I mean, James, I have a list of, I recently took a human rights course.
Well, yeah, if you're Amish, you should Google your human rights, and you'll see all the rights, all your rights that have been violated by the bishops. It's unbelievable.
So let me just read you one.
Okay.
The very first human right. It says, we are all, it's Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Mm-hmm.
It says, we are all born free and equal. We are all born free. We all have our own thoughts and ideas. We should all be treated in the same way. And this is an abridged version, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So if we are all free and equal, and we should all have our own thoughts and ideas, and we should all be treated in the same way, where
Mm-hmm.
is that
Mm-hmm.
happening?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
One of the points that the character in the book Jacob makes is that he's confronting his father, and he talks about the control, the control mechanisms in the Amish, and I think that's sort of going to be something that all Amish readers ask themselves. In the book is, am I tired of being controlled like this? And
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
So what you're hoping, let me recap. What you're hoping is that your book will bring visibility and awareness and also let people know that they're not alone if they're gay and Amish.
mhm, mhm.
And by doing so, it's like, and I've heard this term. I don't know. It's like speaking truth in love. I don't remember where I heard it from. Man, I need a new memory. But anyway, so this term, like speaking truth in love, right? So love, like you said, is much stronger than hate. In the same
Right.
token, did you notice I have like rainbow hair?
I love it. I love it.
Just for you. Just for you. Um, but
It's
but
so fabulous.
when we speak truth in love and we speak our truth and we speak for us, it can really
Yeah, yeah.
raise awareness on a whole different level because historically we haven't had that, James. We haven't had that level, that amount of, us being able to speak our truth in a way that matters to us. We've had people who spoke for us. We've had lots
All the
of that.
time. Every damn day.
I mean, like it's almost inevitable, and I don't know what that phenomenon is, but that's also why, we host Plain Rainbows. That's why we have coffee with friends. That's why right now we're having coffee with James, because yeah,
Well, at the
we
moment, it's actually Gatorade.
oh, did y'all see my cup? It says I
I
got
love
your
it.
back. Y'all,
Love it.
y'all, let me tell you something about this cup. My battle buddy from way back when, way back when, from like 15 years ago, sent me that freaking cup, and it's the best thing ever.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
She also
But
sent
but
me a
yeah,
note that was
so
like, oh,
the
God.
majority of the book is the story Sunset in Rome. However, there is a bonus section of several poems that were recently published, and you can read a preview at feversofthemind.com, and also check Amazon tomorrow, and the book should be live then.
Is it going to be available on Kindle?
No, it's paperback only.
Oh, we're gonna go there.
Hmm.
Why not
So,
Kindle? Then I gotta wait for the mail to send it to me. That's like a lot. You're asking for a lot. I mean, what's 3 more days? I've already waited my whole life for a story about a queer Amish
oh,
experience that's accurate in book form, so what's 3 more days? Like, I just have to hold the book, y'all. Like, it's very precious to me. I mean,
well, thank you. Thank you for reading the book, Mary, and your kind words. And yeah, I mean, you were the first person I thought of. Like when I was like, oh my God, I've written this story. Now let's show it to someone that's gay and Amish.
oh my god.
It's like, Mary
Well
has to read this.
well, I mean, let me just talk about another part of the book that is, like, priceless. It's like the church or my body.
Yes, yes.
That
Right. And that touches on the film Total Eclipse, which is about the poet Arthur Rimbaud and Paul, their relationship. So if you haven't seen Total Eclipse with Leonardo DiCaprio, definitely check that out. It's a really good version of the poet's life, and it is inspired by that. The church or my body, yes.
yes. I mean, but it's such a succinct way of explaining some of queer Amish culture. It really is. When you
Mm-hmm.
think about it, the church or my body, it's like you can't be authentic because there's no space for you to be authentic.
Right.
If
Yeah.
if if you're a part of the church, that's why you have people who are living double lives. That's why you have people who are so deeply closeted. Even when they exit the culture, they may still be completely closeted because they've been taught like some horrible things. And I'm here to tell you, do you believe those things? Do you believe that it makes you a bad person to experience things? Because at the end of the day, you're a human being, regardless of who you're attracted to, regardless of your gender identity, regardless of your sexual orientation. You're a human being and you deserve to walk in your truth. You deserve to walk in your light and to shine your light upon the world and be that person that you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And
Yeah.
the Amish need to hear that, and probably the Catholics as well. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably. Do we have any parting
Possibly,
words from
possibly.
you? Possibly. It's very, very possible. So, do you
Mhm.
have any parting words for people?
Um, I really, really hope you enjoy the story. It's very unique, and I had a lot of fun writing it, and I'm really excited to have this out in the world. And I'm very excited that somewhere a gay Amish kid is going to pick this book up, and it will save his life. So buy a copy, donate it to your library, fight the book bans going on in America right now, which is crazy. Because we need to have our stories told, and we definitely need visibility. So thank you, Mary, for allowing me to talk about Sunset in Rome tonight. And yeah, I hope everyone goes out and buys a copy.
This is like amazing. Thank you for coming in talking about your book. Like you just it's amazing. It's amazing that there's going to be a book tomorrow that, someday I might be able to show my teenager that they may be able to understand a little bit and a little bit better, and like someday I might be able to show, like, it's just freaking fabulous. That's what it
No,
is. Because we get
thank
to
you, Mary.
have and we get to have representation, we get to have voices, we deserve representation just like every other
Yes,
person. We deserve that.
Yes,
We deserve to have our voices heard. We deserve to have our stories told.
this is
Do you
true.
believe you deserve that?
Hmm.
Yeah. So, anyways, I wanted to say thank you, James, for writing the book and expending all of that energy. I know you work really hard on writing. I do really enjoy the way that you write. Your poetry is amazing, but also the short story. It really, really just it struck a chord in me and it gave me big feelings in a very big way. So, with that being said, if you are a queer Anabaptist and or gay Anabaptist, LGBTQIA mafia, if you're part of the alphabet mafia and you're an Anabaptist, like please know that you're not alone. Please know that you are worthy of love, life, and happiness in your life. You
Hmm.
deserve joy.
Absolutely. You deserve everything. You deserve the world.
Mm-hmm. Now, with that being said, I'm going to hop on off of here. Y'all have a good night.